Welcome to the Don't Let That Go Over Your Head podcast, starring Q the Boss.
Yo. Welcome back to another episode of Don't Let That Go Over Your Head podcast. They call me Q the Boss. Listen, today's a very special episode for me. Because anytime someone can exercise their vulnerability, I want them to know that that is extremely strong. Melanie has been through a lot, but she wants someone to grab onto her testimony so therefore you can be inspired. So you can see that you may be going through something, but it doesn't make you weak to be able to express yourself, because I believe that you have to reveal so you can heal. And today I just want to commend her for being so vulnerable, guys. The lovely Melanie.
Thank you.
So, you know, when we were speaking earlier this week, and you told me you wanted to come on and talk about your story, I thought it was so dope because it's being from another lens of someone that experienced something.
Yes.
So, like, where would you want to start? Like, let's start from your childhood.
I was gonna say let's start from childhood.
Okay.
I started with, we're talking about substance abuse. I couldn't sleep as a kid.
Okay.
I always had, I'm gonna take it deep.
Okay.
I always had premonitions. Like, people, like black people, like in the spirits, they say you see ghosts and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like, I always, like, I'm gonna be honest, I would see ghosts, I would see things, but I felt like maybe it's hallucinations, but it was people like come and speak with me, people come and talk to me and stuff like that. But the first time that I experimented with a drug was my dad. He used to get Ambien. He was in the Army.
Okay.
And so he got everything. So I couldn't sleep at night. So what I would do was, he didn't know it, I would sneak and go, and I would go and get his Ambien, and I would take one, and I would take one during the day, and it would make me feel tired, but I didn't know what this feeling was.
Yes.
So I'm falling out against the wall, and he's like, "Get up! What's wrong with you?" He didn't know, because I was
taking the pills.
I was like, I told him he gonna tear me up. I'm scared. My mom, because my mom was a tough one.
Yes.
And even though she's in a wheelchair, rest in peace, I miss her.
We're gonna get into that.
I took it. I was taking it, and then it got to a point where I was sneaking out the house.
Yes.
And I would take them for fun, and I was walking around high off of Ambien, and I'm like, I like this feel, and that was the first time I've ever experimented with a pill.
Yes.
That was my first pill I've ever taken in my life.
You know something?
I was 13.
13.
13.
Wow. You know something crazy is a lot of people don't know that substance abuse can be passed on in your genealogy and your genes.
I have it. I have the
So one of your genes had the...
My parents have it. It came from both my parents. My parents are both addicts.
Wow. You
Recovered
addicts. They recovered addicts. Mm-hmm. So you see, like, when people don't understand, and they always judge people because they don't understand where you come from, a lot of times create who we are. Mm-hmm. Right? So it took me years. One of my good friends, he had a father that was an alcoholic.
Okay.
Extreme.
Okay.
To the point where he never had no vulnerability for him, always judged them, talked bad about him. Mm-hmm. And I used to always tell him, like, bro, do you know that you can pass that on through genes? So fast forward, he went and traced back and found out that his grandfather was an alcoholic.
Wow.
And he got it from grandpa. And I said to him, you may be strong in the person that breaks the generational curse, but you shouldn't look at your dad as being weak because of the fact that he inherited something that he didn't ask for. You know, and that's why I always have empathy and sympathy for people who have these traits and their genetics, because I understand a lot of times they don't come from you.
I gotta take my glasses off for this,
and this is me being honest with you. But my question is, at 13, so you started with like pills, so that's an opiate, right?
Ambien is an opiate, yes.
Okay.
It is.
So then what happened after that?
Then it started with marijuana.
Okay.
My first time.
Very common.
From our neighborhood.
Okay.
I smoked with her first.
Okay.
And then I tried liquor. I tried liquor for the first time. I don't remember who. I do remember who I tried it with. It was Outsiders. It was in Hempstead.
Yes.
Some things, bad. We'll get into that
Yes.
later on in the story.
Yes,
but
yes.
something bad happened to me with the liquor experience.
Okay.
But the weed, it was with the female, and we know her. I'll tell
No
you
names, no names.
No names.
Okay.
I'll tell you who.
Okay.
But and it just, once I smoked marijuana, I was like, wow, this is different. But I never experienced with the pill. The pill thing wasn't my thing when I was younger. It was
Yes.
marijuana and liquor. Like
Yes.
I that was just my thing.
Yes.
'Cause we were younger. We was having fun. Me and my friends. We
Yes.
did that.
Yes.
And then I don't know what you want me to say as I got older.
As you got older, keep going.
Okay, so first I'm mixing up. I have a rare skin condition called hidradenitis suppurativa.
Okay.
So they are these boils that tend to form underneath
Okay.
your armpits, and they get pus underneath them.
I've seen that before.
Yes.
I've seen that before.
And so originally I was always prescribed pain medication, but I never, I would, take them, and my mom had control because I'm a kid.
Yes,
at
of
the
course,
day.
of course, of
and
course.
I would take them as needed, but I never paid them no mind because I always wanted to have fun.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, all right, I'm cut open, I'm pain free, I don't need these things. I never paid them no mind.
Yes.
I really don't know what happened to them after that.
Yes.
And then now we're getting older. So now I hit the age about like 18, 19. Again, I always had trouble sleeping. My parents, they used to get pain medication. My mom, she was double amputee. She was in a wheelchair. And my dad, again, he was a veteran. And I would sneak into their oxys.
Okay.
I'm like, my back hurt because I worked.
Yes.
Or I was a home health aide, so my back would be killing me, and I would work, and I would sneak in. I would go and take they pills, and they didn't know it. They had no idea.
Yes.
No clue whatsoever. And it just, from there it skyrocketed. And then at
So the oxys is what started it.
oxys is really what started it off. It really what started it off. And then to make matters worse is every weekend, because I worked, I always had my own money. I was watching, you had sent me a story, and
Okay.
You were saying you had cars, rich cars.
Yes,
I always
yes,
had my
yes,
own things.
yes.
All my cars in my lifetime were foreign cars. I've owned
Sound like me.
3 BMWs and a Mercedes.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
and not realizing what my parents were going through. We'll get into all of that.
Okay.
And I remember, I'm sorry, I get sidetracked. I have ADHD and
It's okay.
dyslexia.
It's okay.
But I remember just taking these oxys, and I'm like, I feel good.
Yes.
And then now fast forward, we going into the later 20s. So now I'm working as a CNA, working in a nursing home, and
Yes.
my mom again was getting prescription pills or whatever, and I would sneak her medication, and I'm like, my back hurt, I need one, but I didn't think I was addicted.
Okay.
I found myself, I'm like, I can take it. I'm taking one. I'm not an addict. So now we're gonna fast forward to, excuse me, I just burped. I didn't mean to. Sorry.
Keep going. It's okay.
Crowd. I got her on the job in 2018.
Okay.
For legal reasons, I won't state what hospital I worked at.
Yes.
I got her on the job,
Yes.
and I was prescribed. Before I got her, I was prescribed 7.5 milligrams of oxycodone, Percocets.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and because of the skin condition I had.
Yes.
And then I was abusing them. I was getting Narcos, and then I was getting oxycodone, but I was abusing them. And then the doctor kind of caught on, and he's like, I'm cutting you off. And I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? But then, I kept myself straight, and I got myself straight, got my urine straight, and I got my medication back. And then I found myself sitting in one sitting. Now, every 2 weeks with oxycodone, when you first go to like a pain management doctor, I don't know how it is now.
Yes.
But every 2 weeks you would get, I used to get 30 pills. Those 30 pills wouldn't last me. I would wait, do my daily stuff I do throughout the day.
Yes.
Wait till it's nighttime, sit on the edge of my bed. And Q, I'm not lying to you. I don't know how I've never overdosed. I don't know how I've never ever died. I would sit there and take 10 milligram of oxycodone in one sitting.
Wow.
And take them and sit there, watch TV, be dozing off, wake up the next day, like nothing happened.
Yes.
And I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, I'm getting low. I don't want to go through withdrawal. And so then I would slow down, and then all the connects around me started coming. Like I knew a lady who was on for a low, and I'm like around me. And then I started getting connected to the dealers who I started befriending, and the dealers were even like trying to get me to slow down because it was
so much.
It was so much, and the dealers, shout out to them because they're wonderful. Like my dealers love me. I love them, and they are wonderful. They're not bad people. They're not judgmental. They're there for me. They pick up the phone for me if I need to have a conversation. They're not just selling me drugs. Like they're proud that I even went to rehab.
Wow.
And they're proud of me.
Wow. Let me give it up for you.
Thank you.
So let me ask you a question.
Feel good.
So when you started getting addicted, it was to the point where how much would you say a month wise you were spending on drugs?
Oh man. All right. So my workers' comp check, I would have them put it in one lump sum.
Okay.
Because it was a mail issue.
Okay.
So the first check was like it was 12 something, and then it goes up. It goes up once you get hurt. Like you go through like the court system and everything.
Okay.
So I was getting like 1636 a month.
Okay.
So first start with the 12 something I was getting a month. I would spend damn near that whole check on. I would pay my bills, make sure my cell phone was on.
Yes.
Try to help my mom out. She needed a little help out.
Yes.
But the rest of that went to drugs. I mean, I got a big story to tell you, like about the money I spent on drugs. I got a big like. It's crazy, but I'm gonna tell you about the money I spent on drugs. Then the 1636, that I would, like I said, make sure I pay little bills.
Yes.
Here and there. I remember I had a family friend do me a favor, and I had enough money to get a car, and I didn't pay the car note. I was too busy spending that money on drugs.
It's an addiction.
And it was going to Percocet after Percocet after Percocet, run out. I mean, and I'm like hitting up people. I'm like, hey, I need my cell phone bill, but can you loan me $40 or?
Yeah.
And it's like I couldn't believe that I let myself get so down. Like I lost my Beamer. I lost the car relapsed, the insurance relapsed. I lost friends.
Yes.
I had one good friend who stuck by me through everything. Shout out to him. I love him.
Let me ask you a question. When did you honestly look at yourself and say, I really have an addiction?
Honestly?
Yes.
It took for Kim. It took for my sister Kim. We were in the car one day, and I had to pick up from work. I had a car.
Yes.
And I was going to go pick up some Percocets.
Okay.
And it took for Kim. We were in the car, and we were like have a little sister bickering back and forth.
Of course.
she had to be somewhere, and I was late because I was going to pick up my drugs, and she's like, you addicted to that stuff. I was like, no, I'm going to get the same thing that I get from the doctor. She's like, no, you need to stop. You addicted to that stuff. And I'm like, addicted to that stuff. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm not an addict. I'm not addicted to that stuff. What is she talking about?
Yes.
You know? And
Yes.
and then it took for my sister to like really sisters to open my eyes, and then a friend. I'll get to the friend part to open my eyes.
Yes.
But it was like Kim was like the one that was like really like on it, like, listen, you getting addicted to this stuff. And then my mom too. My mom was like, slow down. Don't take so many. Why are you taking so many pills at once?
Yes.
And it was me. It was me. I was burying a lot, and I couldn't speak up.
Okay.
I couldn't speak up to my family to tell them, like, I'm burying so much. I couldn't tell them, like, I'm burying so much that I don't know what to tell you guys that I'm burying. And the stuff that I was burying, it was like, I didn't know where to start. I didn't know what to do.
Yes.
But I was burying so much because prior to that, the hospital I worked at, I was on the verge of getting a house, and I was 27 years old on the verge of getting a house. Like, I'm a kid about to get a house, and my family, my dad's a vet, so it's gonna kick in. And
Yes.
I was burying so much with these pills that I couldn't tell my family that I was burying it.
Yes.
And it just it ate me up. And
Yeah.
I didn't know how to come out and tell my mom. And I wish to this day I could tell my mom while I was burying that I missed out on the house, because being that I was on workers' comp from this hospital that I got hurt at, I wasn't eligible no more for the housing program that they offer.
Yes.
And it just I buried so much that those pills were my everything, and I needed them because if I didn't want the Zoloft, I didn't want the stuff that they offered. I wanted that because it made me feel relaxed and calm, and I didn't have to think about it.
Yes.
I have to think about it.
I want to ask you a question. A lot of times people say that when people start falling addicted to a substance, a lot of times they say it's a means of escape. When you hear that, do you agree with that statement?
I agree 100%. 100%. I agree. You're escaping.
Wow.
You're escaping reality. You're escaping whatever you're running from. You're escaping. So if you sit there and lie and say I'm doing drugs to do drugs, no, you're escaping what you're running from.
Wow.
You're escaping it.
So you think that your addiction heightened because of personal experiences and personal things you were going through?
Yes, I was escaping the fact that, because I always worked. I was always the fly girl. I was always the girl that every 2 weeks got eyelashes done, got nails done, bills was paid, didn't want for nothing. You know, parents was okay.
Yes.
They kept the roof over their kids' head.
Yes.
We were okay, and it just went from,
Spiral.
as they say, from sugar to shit.
Wow.
And it just, I don't know how to like really express it, but I could say it went from sugar to shit.
Wow. So throughout the process of you getting addicted to the substance, would you say that you've affected a lot of people along your journey?
I did.
Yeah.
I hurt a lot of people. I know I hurt my family. I know I definitely affected a friend of mine. And we spoke recently over the phone, and I did find myself apologizing to her.
Yes.
At this point, I don't care if she forgives me or not, because I apologized, and it hurt me because it's she called me a junkie still, and I'm like, I'm not. I'm healing.
Yeah.
I'm still healing.
Yeah.
And I'm not a junkie. And proceeded to tell me that, well, you're court ordered to rehab, and I didn't court order myself. I told myself
You needed it.
I needed it. I put myself in detox, and you remember when I ran out the house, I didn't even kiss my man. I ran out the house, I'm like, I gotta go, bag packed, and I put myself in detox for 2 weeks until they found me a rehab to go to.
I gotta say this. Early this week when we talked, she spoke about her man, and I want to give him flowers as a black man to a black man. And I'm saying it because I genuinely believe with substance abuse, that's the support system is everything for a person when they're going through it. We just met today, and I have a high value of respect for you because it shows his level of strength as a man, that he's able to understand and be supportive and be there. Because most people run. For instance, we talk about the Papoose situation. When Remy Ma got locked up, he stayed there for her.
And
he did the whole time.
And look what she did.
That's another story, but I hope that's not the end of your story, right?
No, it ain't.
So therefore, you know, I just feel like as a man to a man, I think I respect you a lot. And I think it's amazing. Now, come on, bro, it's amazing. You know, she said that her man supported. I want you to get into that a little bit.
I'm sorry. I was sending my ticket sister the oh, she's watching it. I thought she wasn't. Okay. You want me to get into it?
Give me the support system, you know, going through the rehab. How was your support system?
My man was there. He picked up no matter what. The support system from my man, we gonna start from day one. The first date that we had, I remember.
Yes.
I went to go cop from my dealer, and he's like, are you on pills? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh no, we getting you off of that. And I was like, I'm gonna get off of it, don't worry. And he tried for years, and it wasn't working.
Yes.
It took for me to get arrested, for me to realize, all right,
I have a problem.
And I got arrested in his car, and he's like yelling at me like, this is it. I just knew this man was going to kick me out of his house, telling me it's over. He was going to break up with me. But he was my support system. He did not leave. He was like, I want you to get it together. I want you to be the Melanie that I first met. Remember the dates we used to go on? Remember we used to go to New Pals in Brooklyn, and that was our favorite restaurant. Remember we used to go to Dave and Buster's and go out. He was my biggest support system. He didn't leave. He didn't walk away when I was high. He would bring me in the house, lay me down, let me rest.
Wow.
He knew when I was on it.
Wow.
And when people was judging me, like the friend that was supposed to be the friend to me, he came and got me from that person's car, brought me inside and laid me down, let me lay it off. And I'm on Matt's program. It's for people who used to be on drugs, and he's like, you a little tired? He's like, lay down, go lay down. He's so supportive of me. Like he's like, lay down. Your Matt's is starting to kick in.
You know what I think though, and I like to say this a lot. In your darkest storm, you always find your biggest blessings.
Yes.
And I think that that was no more than God. I think God knew what you needed. Sometimes we chase what we want, but I think God knew what you needed.
I'm
listening. I'm
gonna say something to that. Before I met him,
yes,
I was in a relationship with a guy.
Yes.
And I said, I'm practicing celibacy. I don't want to be with nobody. I'm done. He inboxes me. Now, he's blowing me up. I'm like, I just told God I don't want nobody. Let me see what this is about. So I said to him, listen, I'm wide awake. I can't sleep. Let's go to IHOP. We got our own cars. We meet up. We go to IHOP. This man is staring at me like I'm a statue. And I'm like, what are you staring at? He's like, you're just so beautiful.
Wow.
And he was like, from that day forward, he was like, I asked him, he was like, I kind of did fall in love with you that day.
Wow.
And I was like, okay.
Wow.
And from that day forward, it was the, I guess, like the Brooklyn love story, they say.
Yes.
You know, it was
Listen.
it's the Long Island love story.
I think what it is when a person can see beyond what you're doing because they know who you are, and you know what you can become, and you know who you're meant to be.
Yes.
He was just trying to remind you of that.
Yes. He
You know?
says that every day.
I can only imagine.
He says that
Because
every
it
day.
takes someone to love you to see you. Because some people, they can hear but not hear you. Some people can see you but not see you. But he was able to hear and see you. Because the hearing is he knew what you needed, and the seeing you is doing exactly what you needed. And that says a lot about our Creator, right? When he understands you more than you understand yourself at that moment. Because he knew what you needed. That's amazing, amazing.
Thank you, baby. I love you.
Wow. So, you know, when you started getting your addiction, and I'm pretty sure the denial came along with it. I have family that suffer from substance abuse, and I'm very considerate and compassionate for those who actually do it, because I think the metric of strength is always measured based on someone else's strength, and I disagree with that statement. I think everyone has their levels of strength, and I think the ones that are extremely strong should be more willing to come off their quote unquote high horse and help somebody else up. And I think that's what really this episode is about to me. It's about understanding that we need to be each other's strength. And my sister, I want you to know I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank you.
it takes a lot to do this. I don't want to start tearing and getting emotional, but I get really emotional for people. Because I'm being honest, like, I know how I am. I'm a very passionate person, and I love my people. You know, but I want you to get into like explaining to someone about the rehab for someone that's thinking that maybe I need rehab.
Okay.
What do you think?
And I also want to talk about the rehab. I want to send a message to these young kids also out here.
Yes.
Y'all are out here taking these pills.
Well,
They're not from doctors. They're from people who are home chemics.
yes.
And your friends are dying in front of
Yes,
you.
yes.
He's in front. I have a friend who I grew up with, and I was looking for him. He's a triplet, and I was like, "Where's?" I said, "I haven't seen him." He died from taking a press Xanax pill, and we spoke, and the reason behind that was because of how he was treated at Nassau County jail.
Yes.
And I wanted to reach out to his family, like, you guys need to sue because they caused that.
Wow.
In regards to like rehab, don't be ashamed. I don't care how old you are.
Yes.
Don't be ashamed to take that step forward. If you got to get out of your element let me tell you something. For us Long Islanders, I went to rehab upstate. Go somewhere away from people that you do not know,
Yes.
that don't know you.
Yes.
Because you know what? You're going to go somewhere around somebody and it's going to be the same thing.
Yes.
You're going to wind up finding yourself go to that rehab, go to that detox, find that methadone program, take that Suboxone if you have to.
Yes.
And for the people who have something to say, and I want to say this very clear because I got judged, and I'm going to say this. I hope I don't. Can I?
Don't curse. Don't curse. Okay. Don't make them come off. Take you off your high horse.
Okay. Can I say screw you?
Yeah.
I want to say screw you to that person that told me that my M zone is the same thing as taking a drug when it's not. When it's keeping me from taking the opposite. It's the same thing as a Suboxone.
Yes.
So screw you, because unlike you, I'm sitting here on a podcast talking about what I went through. And talking about the things I went through, and I'm brave enough to say it.
Agreed.
And I'm here to talk to the youth, the world, everybody around it. Stop this. Stop it.
But you got to realize that
especially if it's not prescribed.
But we're in a culture of projection, right? Mm-hmm. And when someone is not happy with themselves, they tend to kick people that aren't happy.
Yes, and this person did that to me.
But in the same breath, that means that person should no longer have access to you, because it's sad, but they may be unhappy with themselves.
Very.
And therefore, that's why they want you to hurt more.
Very. Very.
Listen, but so to like a young person, I love what you're saying and where you're going with the man-made drugs that a lot of these young people are using and older people are using. You know, I want you to explain to them how really dangerous that really is.
Oh, it's very dangerous. Please, I have a family member. I won't put the family member out there, but I had to kind of get that family member together to let them know I don't want to bury you. I love you.
Yeah.
And it's what you're doing. It's mixed with a lot of shit. Yeah. So here's what I'm gonna do. Either I'm gonna throw your ass in the psych ward and tell them get her some help. Yeah. Or either I'm gonna take you to detox my motherfucking self, or I'm gonna take you to or either I'm gonna take you to rehab my goddamn self. Me and the person that was supposed to take you. It's not fun. It's no joke. It's nothing funny about it.
Yeah.
It's nothing funny about it.
I got a 30-year-old cousin right now. Mm-hmm. He's currently doing crack.
Oh my God.
And he comes from a grandmother that was a crackhead.
Okay.
And I don't like to say that, an addict. I don't like to say a crackhead.
I don't like to say, I say poison.
Yeah,
I say the word poison.
It sounds horrible. So he comes from the poison. Mm-hmm. And now he's into it.
Okay.
And what's sad is he's in denial. And the people, when you come from a certain environment, you know who is who, right? Mm-hmm. So he's linking up with certain people. Mm-hmm. So I already know what's what. Because these people aren't entertaining him because he's cool with them. Mm-hmm. You know, and the sad part is I can't fault the person that's selling the poison. Mm-hmm. You know, and I can't talk bad about the person that's taking the poison. I think it's a two-way street when it comes to helping creating the problem. The person that sells it and the person that actually takes it.
Right.
I think they're both just as guilty.
They're both just as guilty.
Yeah.
They don't mean it. Cause
I agree.
Because I have a friend who's first of all, I'm friends with all my dealers. Okay. And they all love me and I love them and shout out to them and I keep doing it. So I have nothing bad to say about none of them. Yeah. And this one I spoke to, you know, I got so sidetracked. I'm so sorry. I forgot what I was going to say. We're going to come back to it.
Okay, but let me ask you this. So what are you currently doing to keep yourself sober?
To keep myself sober?
Yes.
I currently go to a maths program. It's called, I go to a methadone program. I go to ARS.
Yes.
Right. In the concept of trying to see a therapist.
Yes.
I do go to therapy actually.
Yes.
At least once a week.
Yes.
It's setting up starting this week.
Okay.
But to keep myself away from drugs, I stay away from people. I don't that shit, you want to cry in my ear. I'm just I know what you're crying for.
Yeah.
And you want to get high. I don't want to hear it. Listen, I gotta go. My man needed. Who I didn't mean to say like.
Okay,
oh my God.
It's okay.
My man calling me. My man. We finna get busy. I gotta go do something with my man. My sister need me. The kids is calling me.
So you make a reason to get away.
Yeah,
I gotta tell you this.
It's not an excuse. I'm not running.
But
it's
you just don't want to hear it.
Tolerating it.
Yeah.
I'm not. I told myself in 2025, I'm not tolerating it. You want to sit up here and keep doing the things you doing, sticking that ish up your nose or whatever you shooting yourself with, and then trying to come crying to me for my little benefits and my stuff, that I got in my pocket. I'm struggling myself. I have nothing.
You have a lot. You have life.
I have life.
A lot of life.
I have a lot of life.
You have a lot of support.
A lot of support. I can't say I have nothing. I have the man that loved me. I have his family. His mother took me in. You know, his own mother feeds me, took me in.
Somebody said they don't have nothing. I think it sounds like you were wrong.
You're right.
I think it's the little things that we should never overvalue.
You're right.
Sometimes, you know, coming from the foreign cars that you said,
Yeah.
You have to look at life for beyond material.
You're right.
You know, I think happiness, love, peace, tranquility, coming into a space where they accept me for me. Mm-hmm. I think that's the biggest blessing.
I'm still not done with that foreign story because I want to tell you about a situation with money. It was like money, but we'll wait till you finish asking your question.
I want you to hear this, though. Mm-hmm. I ended up getting locked up for selling a substance myself.
Okay.
And I was away for a little while. And this is me being vulnerable. In order to reduce time, I had to take a drug program. Okay. I've never been an addict in my life. I've never done drugs. The most I've ever done is alcohol, and I'm like a recreational drinker. Like if it's a party, I'll drink. But I've never been addicted to a substance. And I think it showed me a lot when I sat in these classes and I used to hear these people's stories. I never had empathy or sympathy for drug addicts before until I actually heard their testimonies to the point I said, damn, you know, how they got introduced to it. The stories of the things that they're running from. I'm gonna tell you something crazy. I had a couple weeks ago, we did a podcast episode, and one of the girls called in. She said to me, and it sticks with me. I can hear her saying it every day. She said to me, she does drugs and she runs to men because she's looking for a father in these men. And when she said that to me, it broke my heart because it's like someone will judge her and look at her from what she's doing, but they don't understand why people are going through what they're going through. You know, she's looking for a father in these men. It crushed my heart. And I'm talking about literally, I needed, when you hear this consulting, these one-on-ones, you need to separate from your family for a minute because you take on the feeling of the person. Because I'm a very compassionate person.
Right.
So a lot of times I'm like, yo, I got to detox for a minute. I got to step away. You know, and it hurt me. And it hurt me. Mm-hmm. So looking at that experience from prison, I started hearing a lot of stories. I've never seen so many men vulnerable. I was taught as a black man, you're not supposed to be vulnerable. I was taught you don't speak on nothing. You could be starving and you act like you're full. You know, whether it's emotionally starving, mentally starving, physically starving, you have to act like nothing is wrong.
My best friend was taught that.
A lot of us. Mm-hmm. And it's sad because, you know, that's why I love this platform, because your vulnerability, I'm watching it live, and how many people applauding you, and they're happy that you're actually saying what you're saying, because there's someone that's in denial right now. Mm-hmm. They're not trying to tell their truth.
It's not. They're not trying to tell their truth. But when I came, I was on a train, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, you know, if I'm gonna start this journey, I gotta start speaking up.
Of course.
I can't. I was afraid because I wasn't embarrassed. Now I wasn't embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed. I'll get in front of a whole stadium of people and tell me, yeah, I was on drugs. But I never did the hardcores. I never did coke. I never did. I'm proud to say that I never sniffed. I never did any of that. I'm not afraid of that.
Yes.
And some people are just, they're ashamed to do it. Not me.
Yes.
Let's get out here. Let's talk about this. Let's tell these young kids, stop it. It's not okay. If it's not prescribed by a doctor, it's not okay. Your friend is finding a way. They're putting. It takes about. Can the camera see me? About this much fentanyl.
Yes.
For you to die. Look at the lady. Look at the cops that overdose on this much fentanyl.
Yes.
That's all it takes.
That's very heavy in the community right now.
Yes.
Very heavy.
And ketamine and a horse tranquilizer. Yeah. That's all it takes. That's all it takes for these babies to die. Look at these 15-year-olds. He took a Percocet and died. A 15-year-old.
Wow.
A couple of them. One lady, she was the son. I watched the video, and the lady, the son's friend was dragging him to he was ringing the doorbell, but they was pumping the chest, and he was a friend and stuck by his side until his friend came back to life.
Wow. So I have to ask this question. Now, from doing the substance, do you see any repercussions of it, like now moving forward with your health or anything?
What you mean, like
as far as anything from doing the drugs, anything
like repercussions, like
body, mental, physical?
Oh, is my body like?
Yeah.
Well, my body does like twitch sometimes.
Okay.
We're trying to figure that out, what's going on. But at the same time, I got hurt, like I said, on the job. At the same time, the twitching I noticed started with the drug use.
Yes.
It started after I got off of the drugs.
Yes.
It's starting to slow down, but my hands, they don't shake no more.
Wow.
They used to shake real bad.
Wow.
Very bad. I mean, when I was upstate, very bad. They had me on all these medications. I threw all that stuff out, and I was like, and then my hands stopped shaking.
Wow.
They weren't. When I was upstate, I was in Samaritan Village, State Top, and I'm not afraid. I don't care. I was upstate.
Yeah.
They were not taking care of me the right way. They wouldn't let me see my doctors. They wouldn't schedule the correct appointments. I'm begging. I'm waiting months to see neurologists. I'm suffering from migraines.
Wow.
I wound up in the psych ward twice up there.
Wow.
Twice. The first time I tried to kill myself.
Wow.
The second time was because I had a panic attack because of a situation that happened between me and a girl, and it was because I didn't trust myself.
Wow.
It just, the justice system. Once and another message to these young kids: once you're owned by the justice system, and you get that number and you own and you gotta go to that rehab or in that jail for that long time. Or I know a girl up there, she's doing 15 months of rehab. Okay.
Wow.
I was able to walk out the door. I packed my stuff up and I got tired of the mistreatment. One thing about me is I'll leave.
Yeah.
And I called the courts. I tried to call the drug courts. I said, I don't feel comfortable speaking in front of them. Let me get my cell phone. I'll talk to you, but I'm coming back home. And luckily, I was able to come back home. They didn't arrest me because it wasn't a big, serious charge.
I see what you said.
It wasn't a big, serious charge.
How much time did you do up there?
I was up there from August 6th up until November 13th.
Okay.
And it was the worst.
Yeah.
The worst time I've ever been up there. I have PTSD. Sometimes I dream about it. I wake up screaming.
Wow.
I wish that I never caught the charge. I wish it never happened.
Life happens for a reason.
Yeah.
But I gotta ask you, how long you've been clean?
I have been clean since August 3rd. Since August 6th. August 6th.
Give it up. Get up for it, guys. Come on.
Thank you, everybody.
You know what I love though is the one day at a time aspect, right? Mm-hmm. One day at a time, and keeping yourself focused. The one thing I've learned from you talking today is strength. I'm hearing a lot of strength, whether it's from your support, from yourself, right, and the ability to walk out. You said August, right? Mm-hmm. And you went in August and you came home when?
November 13th is when I
August,
walked.
September, October, November. So let's say about 90 days, you were able to walk out of there and you've been clean ever since. That takes a lot of strength. Especially when you, in doing this today, it says that you are meant to do it. I think that you can impact a lot of lives by telling your story.
I want to.
You can, because there are a lot of people that's going through addiction to the point where there's a woman I know. She started off with sniffing Pine Sol.
Pine Sol, like sniffing.
Pine Sol. She used to sniff it, huff it. Pine Sol.
Like huff it or like sniff it up her nose.
Up her nose. Like she used to love the smell of the
Okay.
pine sol. And then it graduated. And it graduated. And what happened was she ended up losing someone she loved. And it spiraled. And she went far left. Because again, losing somebody, a lot of people don't understand. You know, we always told that you got to get over death. But I don't think you get over death. I think you learn to live with it. And I think that's what people don't understand is learning to live with it.
Yeah, because I'm learning to live with my mom's stuff. I'm not. I wake up. I just had to change my screensaver back to my niece because I started looking at my mom and I'm like, I starts to get emotional and I'm like, I know she's there, but I gotta. Once I go to therapy, I'll learn to live with it. You know.
Yes. So my question is, how long ago you lost your mom?
April 15th of this year.
Wow, recently.
Yes. And
Last
last year.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Sorry.
In 2024.
Yes.
Wow. And how's that been on you?
Horrible. I relapsed. I went to my mom's funeral high off of 2 Xanax bars. Wow. It's been rough. My fiance, I was crying to my fiance the other day. I reached out to 2 friends. Actually, I'm not gonna say. I just reached out to 2 friends, and I said I don't want to be here no more. I just want to be with my mom. You know, my mom. I took for the year and a half that she was passing. Me and Kim, we took care of her.
Yeah.
And it was hard. It was hard. You know, watching your mom deteriorate. It's not an easy feeling.
Yeah.
You know, you look and my parents have been together for over 64 years.
Wow.
So my dad, he's never looked at another woman, never been with another woman, and you know, trying to keep him in good spirits. And his birthday is Christmas Eve, and it's like it's hard. It's not easy. It's not easy. And I spy when that's why I went to the courts and said, send me to rehab, because if I keep coming here, my urines are going to keep coming up full of whatever it's in this urine, and I can't. It was hard.
If I'm just speaking for what I think if she could speak to you, she'll tell you she's proud of you.
Thank you. Everybody says
I think so.
You're going to make me cry.
But I think so. I think she's very proud of you. You know, and I think she wants you to stay the way, on the journey that you're on right now. I think she wants you to continue on your journey and staying strong. Because one thing I know is she's proud of you. No parent wants to see their child suffer. No parent wants to see their child not the best version of themselves. And today I'm proud of you walking on becoming the best version of yourself again.
Thank you.
When you told me your man said, I miss that person.
He says it every day. He's like, I asked him, I'm like, baby, when you get me my ring, I want something to roll. Because I was like, I just want that little cheap ring. It's this cute heart-shaped ring at the mall. It's like $75. It's so cute, but it's like blinged out. And he's like, when you get back to yourself, and we back, and it's
I'm gonna blow your mind right now. And there's a proven stat. It says people that spend the least amount of money on weddings stay married the longest.
Oh, me, him, and
that's crazy, right?
We getting eloped, by the way.
That's crazy. Because a marriage is about the commitment. It's not about the party.
I don't want a big wedding.
I can see.
I'm throwing an engagement party, but I don't want a big wedding.
I love it. I'm invited.
Yes, you invited. Yeah. He told me, because I told him the other day, and I was like, babe, I'm planning an engagement party. He's like, an engagement party? I'm like, yes. He like, when? I'm like, I don't know. I'm planning it though.
Yeah. But I genuinely believe that she's very proud of you. And I gotta admit that. I feel it. And God's put it on me to say that. I think so.
I'm very proud of my man. I love you. You are my king. You are my sunshine. Every day I look forward to waking up to you. Wow. I love your snores. I love when you keep me up in the middle of the night with your snore. You mean the world to me. Wow. And I pray that God never let us break up. I want to live a long life with you. You mean the world to me. And thank you for being here for me, for my addiction. I love you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for everything. Thank you. Just thank you. I love you. Thank you.
You know, the one thing I see now and understand it is the support. You know, because again, I told you we all measure our strength based on our strength. Mm-hmm. You know, looking back to the total of your story, sometimes when we're going through what we're going through, it don't make sense. But in the end, it always makes sense. Mm-hmm. I think we go through things because it's meant for us to help others. Mm-hmm. And I think now that you have a testimony, you can help somebody and save somebody. Somebody probably on his live today said, I'm not going to do this anymore. Somebody that's going to watch this podcast be like, wait, yo, she's saying what I'm feeling. Because I do know people right now who are currently going through, they're in denial. They're in denial. They're in denial. And there's a lot of people that's not honest with themselves. Mm-hmm. I think it's because they're scared of being judged. And the fact that you're saying to yourself, I don't care, right? Because I know who I am. And I know.
I'm done with the being judge staged. I'm done.
Yes.
I don't give two flying birds about what you think about me.
Yes.
You could think you can call me the biggest. No, we can't say crack.
No cursing. Hey, you poison head.
You can call me the biggest poison head, junkhead, whatever you want to call me. But guess what? My stuff is together. Yes. I'm happy. I got family that love me.
Yes.
I got sisters that love me.
Yes.
I got a dad that loves me uncontrollably.
Yes.
My family roots. I got people around me that really, really love me and care about me. Yes. And that's all that matters. I don't care about none of the stuff that the haters say about me at all.
We don't project those kind of energies. Those energies are because misery loves company. Mm-hmm. And when you're no longer miserable, people tend to want you to be in the same space as them. Mm-hmm. And when you break out of misery, they miss the company. Mm-hmm. So they'll try to create reasoning to bring you back to the space they're in psychologically, right? So when you look at yourself today, what is the future plans for you?
When I look at myself today?
Yes.
Oh, my future plans for I told them I'm 33. I'll be 34. God's plan this year.
Yes.
I told myself by the time I'm 40,
yes.
I'm gonna be rich and retired. I'm gonna be sitting on my balcony, looking at the sunset rising, maybe a cup of champagne. Mm-hmm. Who knows? With my hubby right there.
Yeah.
He a little freeze. So after we made a little love, after we made a little love, sitting in our robes and we just sitting there. Maybe some kids run around, maybe the nieces and nephews, who knows?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna sit there, and life for me is going to be amazing and different. Like, I really wish you knew me like how I was. I'm very, very ambitious. Wow. And anything I say I want, I go and get.
Wow.
I'm going after it.
Yeah, sound like myself.
I'm going to get
What's your sign?
I'm a Gemini.
Gemini. What?
June 4th.
I'm a May. I'm 16 Taurus.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me ask you, I want to say this, and I'm pretty sure your dad, I'm not going to have to bury my daughter. Mm-hmm. I know he's happy. Mm-hmm. I know he's happy as hell.
He's very happy.
Come on.
He's very happy.
Yeah, I'm a father, and I can only imagine, I'm going to give you a quick story.
The camera is oh.
There was a time where my son started playing with marijuana, and it affected me because I'm very fearful. Because I know a lot of people have something called bipolar schizophrenia, and it can trigger it. And that's my fear, right? We have to understand these things that we're experimenting with, they're very dangerous. And a lot of these young people, a lot of older people, they don't check themselves. They don't know. I know another guy, he had an enlarged heart and started taking opiates, ended up dying. And this is reality but again, addiction is addiction. It's real. And I think that somebody today hearing this, hopefully they raise their awareness to understand. But I want you to do this for me. Mm-hmm. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to talk right now. Mm-hmm. And I want you to have a conversation with yourself. Okay. And I want you to make some promises to yourself. But I also want you to talk to that little girl who picked up that little drug, that first drug. If you can tell her.
The sleeping pill?
Yes. Okay. Tell her what not to do. And then I want you to talk to the big girl and tell the big girl what you're going to do. I'm
out
listening.
Loud or quiet?
Say it out loud.
Say it out loud?
Everybody close your eyes. Give her this moment.
Say it out loud?
Yes, talk to the little girl. Then I want you to talk to the big girl after.
Okay. Little girl, do not pick up that goddamn pill, all right? Put it down, all right? I know you're a little tired. Go to mommy and daddy, see if they can help you to sleep. You know better than that. You know you wasn't supposed to be digging in daddy's drawer, because you wasn't supposed to be following behind, doing that. No. And then you said, speak to the
big girl. Make some promises to yourself. But the ultimate thing, I want you to admit to yourself that you forgive yourself.
Okay. So make some You said make some promises
some
to
promise
myself
to yourself.
Forgive myself.
Yes.
Promises I make to myself is that I'm gonna be a better person. I'm gonna push myself forward. I'm gonna do the things I say I am gonna do. I'm gonna stop being lazy. I'm gonna start working on my projects more. I'm gonna start working on myself more. I'm gonna start working on my relationship more with my other half, and working on the things that he wants me to fix as well. And what was the other thing you said again?
And I want you to just forgive yourself.
And I forgive myself for. I forgive myself. I forgive myself for it all. I forgive myself for everything. I forgive myself for the hurt I caused myself. I forgive myself for everything, for the poison you put in your body, for the things you let people say about you, for the abuse you took, everything. I forgive you. I forgive you about everything, and I love you, and I want you to know that you got many more to go, and that you are a lovely lady, and that you grew up to be a lovely lady, and that you are blossoming. You blossomed into a lovely lady, and you gonna blossom into a bigger and wonderful, lovely lady.
Give her a round of applause, guys. Is there anything you want to say before we get out of here today?
I want to say to the kids, to the youth out here, 1, put the guns down. It's not cool. 2, stop with this perk stuff, because it's not real. Your friends, I don't know where they're getting them from. They're not getting them from. Put it down. It's not worth it. Stop listening to these rappers, because these rappers they get the real deal. Okay, they're not dying because they're getting the real deal. And I want to stay positive. Things will happen in life. Stay above water. Don't let yourself sink.
Yes.
Things won't be easy. It will not be easy. It will be hard. The life to the finish line is not going to be easy.
Yes.
So please don't think that you're going to just walk to the finish line. It's not. You're going to come to a bumpy road. You're going to hit a rock or two.
Yes.
It's not going to be easy.
Yes.
Take your take your time. Take your time. Figure out what you want. Take your time.
Yes.
Figure out what you like.
Yes.
Don't let nobody tell you what you like.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Figure out what you like.
Yes.
All right? Don't do what it is what you want to do with yourself. Don't let nobody tell you what you got to do with your body. It's your body, it's your life. Do what you want to do. Live your life. Love your life. Live life. And that's that. That's that.
Let me say this before we get out of here today. I remember going through, sitting in these classes, watching the people in rehab. The first thing I've learned is They say the first step to any recovery is admitting that there's a problem. And I use that statement all through life. You know, I identify my problems. I identify my issues. And I just want to say that, look what God can do. Look what God can do. And anyone that knows me personally know I'm very God-fearing. I'm not only God-fearing, I'm God-hearing. I'm a very God-fearing man. I believe beyond. You know, I've seen him work miracles. And I'm sitting here watching a miracle before me today. And I just want to say, God, you're so amazing. You are so amazing. To take this woman from where she's been, to bring her to where she is, and to where she's going. I'm going to be so ecstatic to watch you grow and blossom.
Thank you.
I pray you do not let the devil win.
I won't.
Don't let him win, because he's going to send everybody after you.
My first day home, I got baptized.
Wow, God is good.
Kim took me to get baptized.
Kim, I love you for that, Kim. Oh, God is so good. Merciful Father God. I just want you to know, my sister, I love you. I value you. Keep pushing forward. Do not let him win, because he's going to try. He's going to attack.
Oh, he's been trying.
I understand. Guys, give it up for this woman, man. To anybody going through anything right now, there are a lot of drug programs that are accessible, but let's admit that we have a problem so we can fix our problems. This woman was able to be very vulnerable and allow you guys to hear her story. I pray that someone get inspired by this topic today and allow themselves that revealing is healing, and you're not weak because you're being vulnerable. Admitting your truth is how you fix it.
Yes.
Till next time, guys. Don't let that go over your head.
Can I give him a shout out?
Yes, yeah, go ahead.
For my Instagram?
Go ahead.
I don't know my TikTok offhand.
She's going to get it real fast.
Okay,
Sorry about that.
real fast. I'm going to get it.
No problem.
I want you guys to follow me on
follow her.
Instagram. It's MXY. Hold on, because I'll be forgetting it myself. It's funny. Hold on. I want you guys to follow me because
follow
I'm very
us.
inspirational. Okay, so it's M as in Mary, X, C as in cat,
Okay.
N as in Nancy, Y like yellow. And I TikTok, I'm getting the hang of it. It's I have a TikTok. Let me
Okay.
get to it.
No problem. Take your time.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so my TikTok is Jaydoe, JAYDOE 59.
J-Lo59?
Yes, Jaydoe59. You are more than welcome to follow me. Like I said, I'm a very positive person. I'm not here to judge. You want to inbox me, you want to talk.
Yes.
I'm gonna start like getting out there. I'm gonna
Yes.
start my journey of recording myself about my recovery. Haven't gotten a camera yet. I'm looking for a camera and a mic so I can get up every day and record
Yes.
about me going to my maths program and everything and stuff like that. I don't want to hold you up, Q, because I know you
No,
gotta
you good. You
go.
good. You good. I appreciate it. Listen, I prefer somebody to hear this, because at the end of the day, you don't know who need to hear it.
Yes.
You know, if God's telling you to say it, say it.
And
You
if you, and it's nothing wrong with taking Matt's program. It's nothing wrong with taking methadone. It's nothing wrong with taking Suboxone, the shot. I forgot the other one, but it's nothing wrong with that. If you needed to keep the cravings away, do what you have to do, please. I beg you, get clean.
Yes.
Get clean, because it got the best of me for over 6 years.
Wow.
It got the best of me.
Wow.
And when I went to rehab, that's another thing I forgot. And I didn't before we go, I have to tell you the story.
Okay.
Before I was 119 when I went to rehab. I'm 144 now.
Wow.
But what I was saying about the money, I had touched a lump sum of money, and
Yes.
I went through that money with drugs.
Wow.
With drugs, just buying drugs, partying, and my boyfriend remembers, and I'm like, the amount of money I touched, because I was listening to when you would talk about your mom and the I could have bought on my house, and I cry about it, because I'm like, I think about it and I'm like, but I told my dad, I said, Daddy, because right now I'm going to be renting my own place soon.
Yes.
I told my dad, I said, Dad, it's no more renting. I said, I'm getting us a house
Yes.
before you go off this earth.
I love that.
Said,
I love that.
we're gonna, it's your daughter, it's gonna happen.
Wow.
It's gonna happen.
Wow.
It's gonna happen.
Wow.
But for everybody out there, if you're struggling, don't give up. Please, please don't give up.
Wow.
Please don't.
Sing it. But guys, I value you. I appreciate you guys for tuning in and staying on this episode. Till next time, guys. Don't let that go over your head.